II of the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army, operating in Davao de Oro, is busy. The Guerrilla Front 2 is the oldest NPA unit in Mindanao. Out of 55 known insurgent groups in the country, 30% were in Mindanao. Of the 30%, half were in the Davao region, with 8% in Davao de Oro alone. The insurgents' first task of the day is to make breakfast for their new family of comrades. These members of the New People's Army, or NPA, lay down their guns in the dawn light as they prepared for their daily exercise. Although they are accustomed to operating in the darkness, they have a special mission. From all over the regions of this volatile south in the Philippines, the NPAs of Guerrilla Front 2 are massing up. Their mission? To occupy the municipality of Prosperidad, Agusan del Sur. The NPA, which was caught on their camera during an attack on government troops taking over a municipality, has been battling for the establishment of a Maoist government in the Philippines for more than 5 decades. However, their well-planned attack on the municipality was met by the overwhelming military might of the Philippine government forces. The last bastion of the communist movement in the Philippines was annihilated. Completely subdued and with nowhere to run, the movement capitulated, and the remaining armed fighters all over the country have surrendered. Exacerbated by the NPA's demise was the death of its chairman, Jose Maria Sison, and the final nail to the NPA's coffin was the death of the Tiamzon couple. After more than 50 years of armed struggle, the people of the Philippines got tired of the terrorist Communist Party of the Philippines. New People's Army continued terrorist activities which cost thousands of lives from the military, insurgents, and civilians. Exacerbating the complete turnaround of events for these terrorists, the CPP, NPA, NDF is recognized as an international terrorist organization by the US and the EU. And according to the Philippine government, the communist movement poses the greatest threat to national security. The Filipino people started to retake the cudgels of power against these terrorists. Fear turned to indignation, and indignation resulted in non-support of their legal fronts. These legal fronts are unmasked everywhere, in the mainstream media, public plazas, and streets, and even in the halls of Congress. They no longer have a voice to intimidate the government. This is now the start of their complete demise. This is Seminar Foxtrot's What If? What if the CPP, NPA, NDF in the Philippines is totally decimated? What will be the effect on the Philippines in terms of the political, economic, social, technological, environment, legal, and military? This is our what if. For so many years, finally, the Philippine government is able to free the country from the scourge of communism. The political climate is stable, and the democratic institutions are getting stronger and more mature. Business is thriving. Foreign investments are pouring. Tourists from all over the world are visiting this jewel of the Pacific. The Filipinos have never been so prosperous. The gross domestic product of the country rose to a double-digit figure and is steadily increasing. These are the effects of the much improved peace and security situations in the Philippines up to the hinterlands. The total dismantling of the NPAs in Davao de Oro and the declaration of an insurgency-free province is a manifestation that programs implemented by the provincial government units, the different agencies, and the AFP and PNP under the EO70 PTF LCAC are responsive and effective. Good governance is the key to success in battling the insurgency. The government has the full support of the civil population because the government can protect the people. Peaceful and cooperative solutions can work as long as the government can isolate the hardcore insurgents from the rest of the populace. Discussions on the contentious issues are easily established, which leads to productive solutions because the organ of the political power of the insurgents is already removed from the local social groups and from the local government units that they had infiltrated. Elections as a solution to achieve peace are realized because the former insurgents have undergone total demobilization and de-armament to establish a political party that shall embody their political beliefs and ideology. Minority groups, especially the tribal groups, are heard and respected and are no longer exploited by the CPP, NPA, and DF. Their opinions are highly regarded due to the fact that they were the first settlers in the area, and as such, their opinions are respected. Since the NPAs are no longer terrorizing agribusiness corporations in Mindanao, whose regular attacks then cost an estimated amount of $250 million in damage in Mindanao alone, thus, this amount can now be used in development assistance to assist in the improvement of infrastructure in the former hotbed of insurgency. Along with the complete capitulation of the armed component of the Communist Party of the Philippines, the Mindanao Island's untapped resources of about $1 trillion should now be put to good use. With improved governance and greater accountability in the bureaucracy, people's trust and confidence in the Philippine government skyrocketed to an all-time high. This has a far-reaching effect as services to the people are much felt in the countryside. This also leads to much improved infrastructure, efficient delivery of basic services, and public office now becoming synonymous with transparency and accountability. Although not yet perfect, the peace spoilers have no more issues for exploitation. Healthy opposition becomes a norm in the bureaucracy. No more mudslinging and grandstanding, but only to discuss issues with national and international concerns. The greatest gain due to the eradication of the NPA in the country is the economy. Without the CPP-NPA, and with no more NPAs to engage in extortion, businesses have more confidence to invest in the country, which leads to economic growth. No more attacks on infrastructures and contractors. The government has more resources to invest in infrastructure development, which contributes to economic growth. The province of Davao de Oro alone is endowed with natural and physical resources, to include waterfalls and the like, such that it has been seen to have great potential for power generation. On this account, the Hydroelectric Development Corporation, in coordination with the Bureau of Investments and with the DTI Davao de Oro, is now negotiating with the provincial government and with the other authorities for their entry into the province via hydropower production. The absence of armed NPAs in the province of Davao de Oro greatly enhanced the economy of the province. Aside from the generally uniform distribution of rainfall throughout the year, Davao de Oro lies outside the typhoon belt, which is considered a great advantage of the province in enticing businesses to set in. The ongoing preparation and subsequent enactment of the Province Investment Code would undoubtedly heighten the economic activities of the province. While the province's wealth is primarily agri-based, it is now developing into a hub for agro-industrial business, trade, and tourism. It has a high potential in venturing into large-scale agri-production, aquaculture industry, food processing, and mariculture industry. The large deposit of mineral resources is of great advantage to the province to be an area for mining investments, mineral processing, ceramics making, and jewelry making. Available data from the Bureau of Mines and Geoscience, Region 11 revealed that the province has a total tonnage of deposits of all types of minerals, such as copper ore, marble, gold ore, lime, shade, silica, and many other minerals. With an improved economy, the armed forces of the Philippines will have more resources to focus on other security threats, such as terrorism and external threats. By reducing the need for extensive counterinsurgency operations, the military will be able to concentrate on other security issues, such as the issue of the external defense, the West Philippine Sea issue, and the brewing Taiwan Strait crisis. Moreover, freed up military resources could be deployed to support disaster relief and humanitarian initiatives, as well as other defense goals, considering that the country is visited by an average of 20 destructive typhoons each year and other natural calamities. In assessing the scenarios, it is imperative that the following options through SWOT are needed to stabilize and institutionalize the gains of the government against insurgency, and to prevent the reoccurrence of the armed component of the CPP-NPA. First, for strengths opportunities, the government shall continue to leverage international support to enhance intelligence capabilities and preemptively counter CPP-NPA-NDF activities in international funding and international support groups. Second, on strengths threats, the government through the AFP's capabilities fortifies key areas, especially by training the local police units and ensuring rapid response teams are on standby. Last but not least, for weaknesses opportunities, for the national and local government units to continually engage with local communities to bridge intelligence gaps and ensure that the gains and their support against CPP, NPA, NDF, and other armed groups are maintained. In conclusion, it is critical to remember that these possible impacts are complicated and linked. The response of various social stakeholders and the government strategy for dealing with the effects of the decimation of the CPP, NPA, NDF would have a big impact on how each of these regions turned out. If all of these scenarios are met, then the Philippines will be able to reestablish itself as the pearl of the Orient Seas, where no country can bully nor impose its will on the Filipinos. The Philippines renounces war as an instrument of national policy. Thus, Filipinos must try to avoid the occurrence of such. But what if the Philippines will really completely defeat the NPA? Will the Philippines be able to improve militarily and refocus on territorial defense? Would the Philippines be able to fend off China's aggression in the West Philippine Sea? What if the Philippines will become a middle power country because of its enhanced economic outlook? Will the Philippines still need the EDCA sites facing Taiwan? Again, wars are not sought after by soldiers, because the soldiers are the first to experience the brunt of war and the pain of losing friends and comrades. But these sound like a story for another What If.